Welcome back, guys. So today we're going to be flushing out the radiator on the 1998 Silverado OBS truck 5.7 liter. So stay tuned, keep watching, and make sure to hit a thumbs up and a subscribe. Let's go. So welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today, like I mentioned, we're going to be flushing out our radiator on a 98 Silverado. I don't remember the last time I did it. To be honest with you, I'll tell you the story on the whole front end. I crashed it at one point, but I think ever since then, I don't think I've changed it. So I'm assuming that's been 1990, let's just say 1990, or let's just say 1999, let's just say I haven't changed it since 2000. So 2000, that's 22 years. That's very unacceptable. Unfortunately, you know, when you're young, you just don't realize or don't really care about certain things. You just kind of run with it, and it is what it is. Even though I was a car guy, didn't really care about my cooling system. As long as it had fluid in it, that's all that mattered. But today we're going to be using the Prestone radiator flush and cleaner. If you want to pick one of these up, you can pick one of these up on my Amazon store in the description below. But we're going to be using this. We're going to be running it. We're not going to do the 10-minute. It says 10-minute, or you could do a 4 to 6 hour. You got to do a 3 to 6 hour drive, not consistently, but throughout the time. I'm going to do the 3 to 6 hours deep clean, drive it around for about a week or so, because I don't drive the truck so often. I'm going to just do as much as I can. So you could also do a 10-minute, which is very simple. If you read all the instructions in the back, it's pretty simple. We are going to drain out our fluids into a bucket. You want to make sure that you don't drop any of the stuff or as much, because it's poisonous. It's bad for your health and obviously to the environment. If you have dogs, you don't want them licking it and then be in a bad situation. So make sure to contain all your fluids in a bucket and dispose of it at your local environmental friendly place, whether it's a parts store or one of those disposable places. But yeah, so we're going to be using this. We're going to be draining it out, putting some tap water in it, run it with this in there for a couple hours, and then I have a bunch of distilled water that we're going to be using. We're ready to use the radiator coolant. We have the distilled water. Again, safety first. Always use a bucket, use some gloves if you need to. Always also do not remove coolant from it. Your car has to be completely, or your vehicle has to be completely cooled. As you guys are going to be able to tell, the coolant levels are low now. So I think this is going to be very helpful to help maintain and keep our vehicle running strong for longer. First, again, make sure the vehicle is cold. We're going to keep this on for now, but our Peacock for our 98 Silverado, so I'm assuming it's the same, 88 to 98. The Peacock is literally right under here on the right hand side. It's literally, you're not going to be able to see it, but it's right here. And then we're going to put our bucket down here to collect, and then I'll have samples as well. So once we open it up and we drain it, we're going to open this up to release the pressure to drop more. Once the radiator empties out, we're going to go ahead and run some water through it, see if we could flush out more stuff out of here. Then we're going to use our Prestone flush and cleaner. We're going to put it in, fill it up with water, run it up for a couple hours, and then drain it again, see where we're at. I was able to collect some sample of what it looks like. It's not too bad. There is some metal, like little dirt, debris, but it was still orange, as you guys can see. Not too bad after, I don't know. I don't remember the last time I changed it out or flushed it, but not bad. The water is actually coming out pretty clear, so that we got most of that coolant, whatever's in the radiator. Obviously there's more in the block, So we're gonna let it drain, close the peacock, and then fill it up with the cleaner. Dump it all in. Now we're gonna go ahead and add water. I'm gonna go ahead and start it and add more water. Now we're going to go ahead and just close it. So because I am using the longer method, the deep cycle, I'm going to be driving it around for a couple days, maybe even a week, so stay tuned, and then we're going to go and show you what it looks like. I'm going to re-drain it, and then we're going to add the regular, then we're going to add the coolant back, and we should be good. So let's drive it around. We added some water, we drained it, we added the flush cleaner, and yeah, I'll also monitor the temperature. Again, make sure to take all precautions when disposing of the coolant, and also, you know, don't want to keep it on your skin and stuff like that, so take all safety precautions. I am not a mechanic, this is just a hobby, so make sure to follow and read all instructions when doing a radiator flush and replacement. So stay tuned. So today this is the next couple days. I went ahead and drove the vehicle or the truck for a good hour or so. I'm gonna go ahead and do our first drain. As you guys saw, the coolant wasn't too bad, but I'll do my first drain of water and the flush out of it. So we're gonna drain the radiator. Obviously there's gonna be some system. We're gonna do one more run after this. So let's go ahead and drain our second drain. Our first drain from once we added the flush. So let's go ahead and drain that. Collecting the sample. We're gonna go ahead and close it up and refill it with water. It didn't pour too much out, so maybe I'll use some. We're gonna go ahead and use some distilled water on this run. Clean out the reservoir and put some distilled water in there, and then one more round of that, and then we're gonna go ahead and put our coolant in. I pulled out and I was draining this out. I mean, it's pretty dark in that corner, and I noticed that I couldn't get the water to drain out, so I took the river hose out. I don't know if you guys can see if I can zoom in, but I'm trying to. There you go. You can see it's clogged. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that out. That's why I had poured, not knowingly, poured green coolant in here, and I never really did anything just because it was clogged. So I was always wondering why the pressure was always right above cold. Completely clean this thing out. As you guys can see, I think this is the cleanest it's gonna get. I was able to kind of clean the inside. This is how clogged it was. I'm assuming because I had never flushed this out, and there was green coolant in this one, and then in the whole system was orange. So luckily I went to a local auto parts store, and I got a new hose, and we're gonna just replace the hose. We're gonna put this back on and then do one more drain and then fill it up with coolant. Now we run the hose. I got it a little longer, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it to be fitted. So it sits right underneath the intake box, air box, or it sits right underneath the air box. So we're gonna cut it a little short. So we wanna probably put it underneath the right here, maybe underneath the battery as well. So let's trim it. Before we go ahead and plug it, we're gonna drain the rest of it from here so that we don't get the backwash from here into that, so we can have a clean coolant. And here's our dirt sample collected. First drain without the cleaner. Second drain with the cleaner. You can see you got rid of a lot of stuff in the radiator and system. And then the final one, it's a lot clearer and it still has that dirt. So it's going to be hard for me to completely clear it out from everything, but it was very helpful. Now we're going to go ahead and put our new coolant in. Now that I drained all the water from the water pump, at least from not from the water pump, but from the bottom radiator hose, I ran some more distilled water through there so that I could give me 50-50 here. So we're going to go ahead and use these gallons and fill it up with the Prestone Dex-Cool concentrated. So we're going to fill this into our jugs and get it to fill it up to the top, and that'll give us a 50-50. Once we get the car running and a couple days have gone, we're going to go ahead and do a test, make sure that we have the right amount of coolant mixture inside of both. But for now, let's go ahead and put our coolant in here and fill it up with our mix. Pour half of it into it. That gives us our 50-50 mix. What we're going to do is use our adapter as well, and we're going to put it on the vehicle and we're going to fill it up. Make sure you get the right adapter on your vehicle. You put it in, make sure it fits in the hole. Get your right adapter for this. You're going to want to make sure it fits snug. This will make it easier for you not to spill. Now you want to get your funnel and drop it into place. Thanks. Now that we're going to do number 2, we're going to turn on the vehicle, and so it warms up, and we could open up the thermostat could open up, and we could keep filling it up. It's slowly filling up the radiator. Once I have the heater on, once the thermostat turns on, it's going to drop completely. We're going to put the rest of this, or we're going to put some of this to fill it up in our reservoir to cold, and then so that we don't get no air bubbles there too. like it's reached driving temperature, so it looks like we're getting more bubbles, so the thermostat must be opening. Alright, so there it got up to temperature. The coolant's still there. What we're going to do is use our little plug, and what we're going to do is plug it, pull it out. We're going to turn it off first, let it cool down for a little bit. You never want to pull stuff out when it's hot. So once it's cooled down, we're going to put this in there, release it, and it drip free, and we're going to put it back into our containers. And we're going to keep a container 50-50 because we're going to be needing it down the line to refill and stuff like that as we drive. The coolant reservoir is completely full. I think I filled it a little bit too much, but it's okay. It's nothing to worry about. So now we're going to drive it and enjoy it. At this point, a lot of people might be saying, well, you should have replaced the thermostat, you should have replaced the radiator cap. I'll probably end up doing that anyways, but I'm going to probably do that on the next flush because it's been so long that I had flushed it that I'm going to probably redo it again. It probably in the next, I don't know, couple thousand miles. So we'll replace the thermostat, the one I have on there is functioning, and replace the cap and reflush it again every, you know, I don't know, and then the next couple of years or whenever it goes bad. But this truck's been very good. Thank you guys for watching. I mean, how to flush and refill your coolant on an 88 to 98, or in this case my 98 Silverado OBS truck. Subscribe, thumbs up, and hopefully this was helpful. I'm not a mechanic, but this is my hobby, and I enjoy what I do here filming for you guys. Catch you on the next one.